Alrighty, welcome to Something About Tabletop. This is a impromptu kind of discussion. Just was a bit bored and thought we'd have a talk about the new Shadowrun book, Run Faster. It's been creating a lot of ripples in the Shadowrun world for now. With me today, the solitary
Louis.
Bluey.
Louis.
Yeah, so you may have seen from a few of our actual plays, and of course near the start when we were doing, I guess, kind of podcasts and meta topics. We actually kind of want to get back into that, but at this present time, Hangouts is just easy to use, so we've just been doing that.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Yeah, I've been really enjoying it. I've never really used it before this ever, actually. Maybe once, just checking out. I think we were sharing YouTube videos on it one time, like when it first came out, Google+, but apart from that, I haven't really used it. It's really quite good.
Makes
I mean,
streaming
sometimes.
easier.
Oh yeah, I mean, especially for Australians, because whatever. Because we're Australians, we can't even do streaming because our internet sucks that bad. Anyway, so I guess I'll just give a short description of what Run Faster is. Run Faster is, I guess, breaking down the game a little bit more, talking about topics about races, new meta variants, new races, I guess you would call them for D&D fans. And of course more qualities and what it means to live in this world and what it means to have friends in this world, which is, say, contacts and stuff. It breaks down a lot of this more, making it more complicated. Like, I actually recently, today, I had not read the section on getting a home, but it's so complex now. You spend points, you pay for an amount of points, and then you can put those in different areas if you want to customize your lifestyle and stuff like that. So that's pretty interesting. Yeah, I probably won't use those optional rules because, I mean, if people want to use them, they can use them, but I'm not forcing anyone to, basically.
Yeah.
Like, you can customize where you live in you can live in Bellevue and stuff and all that kind of stuff. It's pretty cool. I liked it. I mean, this is kind of like your Unearthed Arcana, or for some, I think the recent, like the DMG, just not necessarily Dungeon Master's Guide, but lots and lots of new options. Not necessarily tables to roll on, but lots of new things to put into your game. New optional rules. So big ones is a new optional character creation, and I think they've even fleshed out some of the qualities. I think they've got new codes of honor. I think, yeah, they do. Yeah.
I know they've got ranking systems now, like as a quality.
Yeah, you can get a rank as a quality and spend karma on it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just so much stuff in this book, and every single time I look into it, I find something new, or I am stunned by what they have put in it in general. I mean, the biggest one, and the one that's probably the most talked about, are going to be the qualities, and of course the meta variants. But how do you think we should do this? Just go down the book and talk about each section, or just pick out sections we'd like?
I reckon I'll give a quick overview about the meta variants because that's a big part of the world.
Yeah, sure. So, yeah, this is where they talk about all the new meta variants that are in the game. The Mess of Meta-Humanity chapter on page 88. So, if you're following along, if you do have the PDF, yeah. I mean, this hasn't been out too long. I think it was released near Christmas. I think, yeah, it was. Just before Christmas, so they can sell shitloads. I mean, I certainly snapped this thing up quickly. Alright, the Mess of Meta-Humanity. So pretty much this has all new meta types and meta variants. A lot of these aren't your standard. I mean, you have your standard D&D races, don't you? You got your I think they're putting gnomes and things like that. Hobgoblins, giants. But they've put some really weird ones that most people wouldn't have heard of, especially from coming at D&D or Pathfinder background, like Kabukakuru, Menehune, Wakiambi, stuff like that.
Yeah.
But mainly this chapter, sorry, I didn't really talk about it, but each meta variant, there's like 4 meta variants each, I think, for each race. So a dwarf meta variant would be a gnome, per se. I guess what we'll do is we'll just go through each of the meta variants and just talk about them a little bit, or maybe pick our best. We'll pick our favorite from each.
Yeah,
I'll pick my favorite from dwarf, and then you pick your favorite from dwarf. It's the same as mine. It's the same as mine. You can start.
I mean, Yeah, let's be honest. I think we're both gonna pick the same one here. Gnome. That's so good. I mean, other than looking like a child, um, Arcane Arrestor. Sure, you like the stats for hacking and stuff, but just Arcane Arrestor on its own is amazing.
Yeah.
What?
Well, basically, a gnome is just a smaller dwarf. They're weaker than a dwarf. They're weaker in every respect, but they're much more intelligent, um, and they have more agility as well. So they're really interesting, and they're the size of a child and the body of a child. That's the big
Yeah,
part about them.
that's the weird
Anyway,
one.
yeah,
But
yeah. Go on then.
they're the only dwarf meta variant that seems to not cop shit so much in society.
Yes, because they're just
Yeah.
little people.
Yeah.
Alright, well, seeing as you picked Gnome, one of my favourites, and I mean, really, the big thing about Gnome is it's going to see a lot of play from, sadly, I'm in Max's standpoint, because you go, oh, I need logic and stuff. He's the best decker, he's quite a good technomancer, and he's an amazing Hermetic Mage, which, I mean, let's face it, the only reason we see heaps of Shamanic Mages is because Elves get high charisma, so
Yeah.
Shamanic Elves are seen all the time. I mean, I'm not a super big fan of this. I think I've seen a Hermetic Elf before, but apart from that, you never see anything really.
Yeah, I mean, flavor-wise, you choose Hermetic, but just getting 8 charisma, like if you're a min-maxer, getting all the dice you can get for a mage is
Yeah.
actually really good.
Well, I'm actually going to pick Hanuman, which is the monkey man.
Hanuman,
Yes,
the
they
monkey
are
man.
monkey men.
Ah,
Hanuman are named for the Hindu god, who has some physical characteristics of monkey. So basically, these bastards get a tail, they get feet, hands. They're really cool. I'm not too sure on their stats because I don't have the stat blocker up in front of me. Let's take a look quickly. Give me a second. But these bastards are really cool. Of course, I do prefer the gnome, but he already talked about the gnome, so I'm not going to double up. Um, where is it? Where is it? Oh, that's right. They're like all the way down, aren't they? Sorry. Sometimes
yeah,
how they set up these books. So yeah, the Hanuman are basically just dwarves. I don't think their stats change too much. So the Hanuman, they get extra agility, they have higher reaction, higher strength, their body is the same, they get lower logic, but more intuition. Wow! And lower willpower. They have a prehensile tail, they have hair, and they have monkey paws and low light vision. Wow, they are awesome! I heaps want to play a Hanuman now. I don't know why. I want to be a monkey man. Alright, so next section, you can do that. Who's next? What race is up? What meta?
orcs.
Alright. Let's just check out. So these are the orcish types. I mean, I have a favorite here already, but it's not the best per se, but I just like them. I've actually had them in a few of my games already. These are some of the more powerful ones too, actually. Anyway, I'm going to start off with this one, and my favorite's the Hobgoblin. So the Hobgoblin isn't necessarily powerful by any means, and actually it's almost the sheer opposite of an orc. They get higher strength and higher charisma. They have lower logic, and they get teeth. They're vindictive. They're generally not worth the karma. We actually gain karma. Like usually with these, you have to spend karma to get these. Nope, you gain karma. Being a hobgoblin's crap.
Yeah.
But I really like the flavor of hobgoblins. They even have their own nation in Mongolia, and they're really interesting. They've got this whole they're more charismatic and empathic, but they're more likely to cut your throat. So, which is pretty interesting. All right, how about yourself? What's your favorite meta variant in the orc?
I really enjoy satyrs, mainly because they run
Yeah.
so fast, and
Oh yeah.
they can just scale mountains and stuff, you know. Because
They're
they've
also
got
yeah.
goat feet.
Mhm.
um,
Yes, they're the same intelligence, but they.
no, they lack the mental limitations, so they're
Oh.
yeah,
Oh
so
wow.
they actually, and they also score exceptionally well in adaptive thinking and above average EQ, so they're not that bad. Like they're a bit above orcs normally. Um, it seems that they kind of adapt a little bit better into society, it seems.
Apart from having hoof feet.
Yeah, hoof feet, but I'm sure like you could hide that pretty
Yeah.
easily if you wear pants and shoes.
Yeah, definitely. Alright,
Yeah.
next we have the trolls. So the troll meta variants are usually, I mean, some of them are kind of the same as each other. I'll let you start with this one.
Well, this one, I reckon. Well, I haven't really thought about this one.
Let's take a quick look. I'll tell you my favorite, which is the giant. The
Yeah,
giant is like
yeah,
they have increased muscular bulk, enlarged lower canines, and thermographic vision, but they don't have any horns or dermal deposit. But their skin is like bark. They're increased muscular. They're taller, but they're more muscular, but they're not as wide. They basically look like a big people. I really like that. I don't know why. I think I may make a giant one day, just for funsies. They also have increased facial hair thickness, apparently, by the way. I'm not sure why that's relevant, but it is. Yeah, they're
yeah.
super awesome. I like the giant. They're definitely more liked in general. But they're generally the same intelligence and stuff. Yep, giants test the same ranges as the base Ingentist. Similar to trolls, their mental acuity tends to be underestimated. That is to say, they may have a slightly lower than average metatypes on intelligence testers, but they tend to be brighter than people believe they are. I'm not sure what that means statistically, but I'm pretty sure it means nothing. Anyway, what about yourself?
I'm liking. I was just looking through the stats. I reckon the Cyclops is pretty great. It
Yeah.
has 611 strength, and if you build it right, that means you can get 16 strength. That's ridiculous.
You're
Uh,
obsessed with doing dumb shit like that, aren't you?
yeah, high stats are the best.
Alright
I
then.
mean, just having one eye, that means you only need one goggle and one cyber eye. You're saving.
And you get -1 to all physical actions as well. That's a thing too that happens.
Whatever. I'm just swinging a club around.
Alright, so now we've got elves. This is where the Mary Sues live. All these races, I mean, there's some of them I'm not overly a fan of. I know that I'm going to see one type that's going to particularly see a lot of play. I'm going to let you introduce these ones. At least, I'm going to assume I know which one you're going to talk about, but maybe it might be another, but go ahead.
There is two that I really like in the elves. One's the really weird one that will never be seen played because there's no sense. It makes no sense that they'd be running. But I'll talk about them anyway. That's the Wacky Army. They're basically very slender, 3 meter tall African elves. It's a very strange image. They're 3 meters tall, but their skin is like a Slender Man. It's creepy as hell. They've got elongated limbs.
Yeah,
Oh,
they're freaking
it's amazing.
scary, man. They're a very secluded tribe. They don't tend to talk to others.
Yeah, so they wouldn't be in the
Okay.
Seattle War.
I'm going to talk about the most played race I may ever see in my life, which is the Nocturna. The Nocturna are the Dark Elves. The difference being is they actually get hair, which is kind of weird. I mean, this may turn people off or turn people on depending if they're furries. Nothing wrong with that, though. Anyway, these bastards, I mean, aside from their lore, they used to be called Night Ones. Now they just get called Nocturna. This was forwarded by EvoCorp, I think. Either way, the main reason people are going to play these is they get the highest agility of any race. That's why they're going to get played. They have slightly less charisma than normal elves, but they get 3 agility, and I think they're going to see a lot of play.
13 agility. What?
Yeah. Next is the humans. They have one meta variant called the Nataki. Basically, Vishnu, I think it's called, or Vishnu? Is it Vishnu? The many arms of Vishnu? Yeah. Basically, they're many-armed, 4-armed people with strange colors ranging from red, blue, gold. Other than that, they're pretty much the same as a normal human.
Yeah.
They're kind of freaking weird.
Yeah.
So the other thing next is the Metasapiens. These bastards are not metahumans because they're actually from another race entirely, but they have garnered human-like intelligence. But the cool thing about these guys is they don't have human minds per se. They have minds of mythical creatures. These ones are centaurs, nagas, pixies, and sasquatches. I mean, this kind of stuff here is where it goes, well, do I want to put this into my game? I mean, most of the time, I think I'd allow a centaur, maybe a naga, but pixie and sasquatch is getting to that point of stupidity. I mean, the pixie is also just very powerful in-game in terms of... I mean, most of the time, the only reason I'm ever going to see someone playing a pixie is to min-max, I'm going to be honest. I mean, if someone legitimately wants to play one without knowing the stats, I'll probably let them play one. But that's about it. Anyway,
aren't they like little fairies?
They are little fairy people, but they get the ability to phase out of time and space.
Wow, I didn't read into that.
And they get massive boost to mental stats. They make the best shamans in the game.
Wow, okay.
If you make one correctly, it's quite easy to get 15 drain dice at character creation.
Wow, sounds great.
But their maximum body and strength is 2.
I just phase in and out of fucking...
That's the point, yeah.
Space. Yeah.
Sasquatches are basically trolls. Anything you want to talk about the Metasapiens?
I mean, centaurs are cool, I guess. They're not as fast as a satyr, unless they're sprinting, which is pretty... Yeah, what you'd expect. But...
Yeah. Next up is just all of the shapeshifters and stuff. I mean, there's not too much to say about these, apart from 4th edition, they don't have regeneration anymore, or they don't get hurt by silver. I mean, I like them so far. I probably let people play them in my games now, as long as they roleplay them correctly, because the cool thing about these is you're not a human that can turn into an animal. You're an animal that can turn into a human. And you're more intelligent, so you're going to play that off. Like, you've got animal intelligence, you don't have human intelligence. There's a big difference.
That'd be really hard to incorporate into games, because you can't really be a part of the planning phases and shit.
Oh, you could.
You're uneducated, and I don't know.
Hey, K9, art.
K9, alright. But, like, all the cool ones...
Hey, K9's cool.
K9's alright, but I mean, I want to be a fucking Tiger Man.
I mean, that's the downside of playing a Tiger Man. You have to be an idiot, because animals don't go to school. I'm sorry. That also means that you can't make checks to use computers and all this kind of stuff. So yeah, other than that, I think what we'll do from here is just pick some sections that piqued our interest when we got into this. We'll pick maybe 2 each, and we'll talk about those sections, and then we'll just wrap it up from there, I think. Some closing statements about the book. I mean, the big part of this was the meta variants, and of course the qualities. How about we just go to the qualities section and pick out some qualities of note? We'll just look around, find some ones that we like, and just talk about them for a bit. I mean, is there anything you want to say about the meta variants, like how it's going to change how an average table is going to be? Do you think we're going to see them a lot? As a DM, I'm probably going to allow people to play them. It's just, I've got a feeling we're going to see some overplayed ones.
I'd be interested to see some changelings at the table, because...
Yes.
Yeah. They're pretty crazy. Some of the shit you can get with them, like beaks and tails and frog tongues and... so much weird shit. That'd be pretty interesting.
Yeah. They get progressive more minuses to social interactions to each one that they have, is the thing.
Yeah.
So let's just go to positive qualities, shall we? And we'll just take a look at these and just talk about some that we like, and go from there. I mean, there's a few sections that I definitely want to talk about after this. Is the section on character creation, the new character creations. Definitely, that's one of my favorites there. Anyway, just looking at some of these qualities, we've got to return to some of them, like Adrenal Surge, which is you go first, from 4th edition. I mean, a lot of these are from the 4th edition equivalent of this book, which is Runner's Companion. So, I mean, a lot of them are just the same, reskinned, a little bit better or worse, depending on what needs to happen. I mean, is there any you want to talk about explicitly?
Actually, I was really heavily looking at Adrenaline Surge and like taking Adrenaline Surge on characters that normally have shit initiative, like mages or whatever.
Mages,
Because
yeah, that's the power.
yeah, that's really strong. Um,
Yeah, it's crazy because you can have a low initiative, but you go first. Though, mind you, if they use Edge to go first, or they have Adrenal Surge, they will go first because then it goes back to normal initiative.
and then there's one of your favorites, restricted gear. I mean, in fourth
Oh
edition,
yeah,
you could do
I
some
I
really,
hope that was with the most utter sarcasm because I hate that
yeah,
quality.
I
I
know,
used it all the time, but that's because it was like crack. It was like,
yeah,
oh yeah, look at my sexy gear, and then you realize that you took it on all your characters forever.
yeah,
Basically, restricted. Yeah, go on. Tell us
yeah.
what restricted gear
For,
does.
basically, it allows you to take an item up to availability 24, which is the max. Whether or not you can afford that is a different question. Which in fourth edition, the prices were really not balanced. You could get some ridiculous stuff at character creation, but now that there's not a huge amount that makes it so broken that I've been looking around, and I mean, sure you can get like a Panther XXL, but like, eh,
I
it's
mean, the
just
main stuff that makes it broken is just being able to get wear that
yeah,
is at
cyber.
higher rating,
But I
logic
mean that's
boosters at
really
top.
expensive.
It's just min maxy stuff. I mean, to be honest, what I'm probably going to use restricted gear on is getting laser guns and stupid shit like that because
Yeah,
laser guns are awesome. I
if your
mean,
DM
the most
lets you.
yeah. I'll let people take laser guns. I'll even allow you to get the ammunition as a part of the restricted gear.
Huh?
But you have a freaking laser gun, and that shit is going to make you memorable. You basically get distinctive style for free if you take that gun and take it to a fight, because people will remember you.
If you leave survivors.
Oh, obviously, murder fucking everybody.
Yep.
Um, some other pretty cool qualities that I've seen around. Um, Friends in high places. This one's cool. It breaks the amount of limit that you can get for a quality, a contact, and makes it so that you can get a connection rating way higher than the maximum, which is normally 6. And you can go all the way up to 12. So you can have like a, a corporate executive who is your friend. The only problem is that you can't overuse it either, and due to some rules, like the DM should be very stringent with what you can do and can't do with this contact, and all your contacts have to be over rating 8 in connection. So
Yeah. Oh,
it usually means
that's
dumping all of your stuff into one contact. Mind you, as a face with or you get 4 times your charisma instead of 3. So I mean, as a face with 8 charisma, that's 16. 16 times 2. You can have 2 like corporate executives that hang out with you a lot. It's completely ridiculous. Oh my
yeah.
god, that's insane. Yeah, no. If you're a face with 8 charisma, you can even get 9 charisma. What's 9 times 4?
36.
Yep. So you get 36 points.
That's wow.
That is two contacts with connection 12 and loyalty 6. 2 of them. That's bonkers.
That's wow.
Yeah.
That's pretty funny.
I think
That,
that is one of the more abusable contacts.
uh, and erased. Oh,
Okay, so yeah, talk about that one. I really like what they've done with the raised.
basically, you can't. You don't have a sin. You don't exist. I don't think you can even get one. Can you?
You
You
can get
can't
a
get.
sin. Oh no, you can't get a
Yeah,
sin, but you can get fake
yeah,
sins. But they only last like a
you
month
get a
or two.
fake sin. Yeah, they last a few months. Um you have trouble buying things and everything because yeah you can't get more than public awareness 1 because they,
Hmm.
they can't find you.
Basically, you have to have
But
low
yeah,
lifestyle, and your public awareness can't go over 1. And I like this. I like this because you, as a player, can play more recklessly. You can decide that you are going to put your face on the cameras because you know in about half an hour a hacker that he is looking after you scrubs your face. So you can be reckless, and I kind of like that because you don't have to worry too much about being seen because Yeah, I mean, obviously, if you walk down into the middle of the street and just start fucking gunning people down and shooting grenades into civilians,
Yeah.
your erased quality is going to not cover that because you're a dickhead.
Well,
Or
they
it's
won't be
too
able to
much.
put it. They won't be able to trace any history of you, but now you exist.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
it basically says if it's up to the DM to decide if the players are idiots. It doesn't say that, but I mean, if the player is an idiot, you know.
Yeah.
Any other qualities and positive qualities at least that you can see that are pretty cool?
Um, Black market pipelines made a comeback.
Yeah, and it's the ultimate fuck you to DMs that say, "Oh, you can't sell that shit. No one wants to buy it." Sorry,
Yeah.
he does. Actually, he always buys it at a certain price. Suck my balls. Take black market pipeline. Take a really high level quality. Take the friends in high places. Watch your
Oh my
DM
god.
cry as you
Oh,
sell all of the things.
that's intense.
Yeah. Fun enough, as a DM, you can say no to people taking these kinds of qualities. Also,
Yeah,
something
top us.
that would be cool is a legendary rep. You take the legendary rep basically makes your contacts like you even more. If you have a group contact, take a group contact that is your friends in high places. Take a legendary rep. Now your 12/6 group contact thinks you're legendary, and you walk around the world of Shadowrunning shitting on everyone. All right. So next is negative qualities. These ones
Oh,
are all bad sides, and I think some really cool qualities are made a comeback, like amnesia. Borrowed time is back. This one's great. So borrowed time is your character has a random chance to die, either a fatal disease, a cranial bomb, or all kinds of nastiness is the reason, or some kind of curse. So basically, at the start of the game, the DM rolls 3 dice. If he gets 3 of the numbers the same, your character's dying tonight, and the DM gets to have some fun with it.
so
I
good.
think that one's cool. Yeah, it's so awesome.
Um,
You
Hobo
got a
with a
quality?
shotgun is pretty
Yeah.
funny.
So Hobo with a shotgun is you have to live on the streets.
Yeah, you refuse, and if you're forced to live above that, you suffer a -2 to all mental attributes.
One of my favorites of negative qualities is creature of comfort. So it means that you have to live at a certain lifestyle. So say if you take the 25, so it goes 10, 17, 25. So medium, high, or luxury. If you take the 25 karma one, your character needs to live in luxury. If he doesn't, he takes a -1 to social and healing tests for each underneath that. So if you live a high when you have 25, you take a -1 to everything. If you live a street when you have luxury, you take a -6, I think, or -5. So it's completely insane. This really makes my character. I have a runner idea that I really want to run the game one day. Is he's a shitty edge character and he's taken A in money, and all he's done with that money is taken months of luxury lifestyle. By the way, it's 100,000 each for that month, each
Yeah.
month, and he basically is a guy who won the lottery, and now his money's running out, and he's realized that he's going to need to run to get his money back. So. He'd have creature of comfort all the way to 25, and he's trying to do it. I don't know. I think it would just be fun playing a like rich asshole that is just an idiot. Anyway, any qualities you like here?
Then there's hung out to dry. I like this because if you're having real trouble just like coming up with backstory or whatever, or you have got a backstory for it, you just tie this up with amnesia. Because hung out to dry is you don't have any contacts, more or less.
Your contacts don't talk to you. That's what it is.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, that still works. So
Yeah.
yeah, tie that up with amnesia. You're like, I don't know why this character's doing this. He just needs money and to build up rep.
Yeah, sounds good, man. I'm just gonna quickly peer over these qualities, and then we'll go to a section
Oh,
that we like each. Phobia's back, poor self-control, things like vindictive, combat monster, braggart, thrill seeker, and compulsive. Like OCD, that's always fun. Those kind of things on characters. Vendettas. And there's new, actually this is something I enjoyed, is that there are new archetypes. And they have really funny art with them. My favorite is the Rocker. He looks utterly hilarious. Anyway, let's pick a chapter each. You can go first, and then we'll talk about that chapter.
Wow, what chapter are we talking about?
Just a chapter, just to talk about for a bit.
Um, this is basically all I've read, to be honest. The qualities and the meta variants. Yeah.
All right. Well, I think a big one for me is the new character generation. I didn't expect. I knew that there was going to be karma generation, and I knew that they might do. Well, I didn't know, but I wasn't surprised to see a new spin on the priority table, which is Sum to 10. How Sum to 10 works is you get 10 points, and the priority table options in Shadowrun have a cost. A is 4, B is 3, C is 2, D is 1, E is 0. And you don't necessarily need A, B, C, D, E like you normally do. You kind of spread them around. So say as a human, you could take like A money, B attributes, B skills, E E human, and then E magic. And that's a character. That's actually a street Sam. That's a very good street Sam.
Yeah.
So
that's not real one.
Yeah, so that's just things that you can do. I think it's super awesome. But then there was the next thing under that really caught me by surprise. I'm not sure if any of you guys have ever played a game called Traveller, but they got a thing in there where you make your character by rolling up what happened during his life. So he goes through his life, and you make decisions based on what you want your character to do in his early life. And they did this in here, except there's no roles or anything. You do life modules. You have 750 karma, and you go into character generation, and you choose where he was born. You choose where he went to school. You choose if he went to school. Then you choose what he did in his teenage years. You choose what he did in his early adult years, whether he was studying, doing drugs, whatever. And then you choose finally what he did before he became a Shadowrunner. And Shadowrunning is there. You can be a Shadowrunner early on. And then you get a whole bunch of skills and attributes from that. And then you use the leftover karma, which is usually around a couple hundred, to make your character entirely to make a one-rounded character. The super cool thing that I find about this is that it allows you to create a backstory as you're making the character.
Yeah, that's really good.
Yeah. It's also relatively easy too, because all of the options are there. I've got a feeling though, if you were to get a whole table to make a character through that character generation, the characters will feel a bit samey, and you'll find, in Shadowrun, a lot of the time you'll have characters that have 6 in firearms, and it's like, how did you get 6 in the firearms skill group? And they'll just go, I was taught on the streets. That's not something you can do in this character generation.
It doesn't make sense, but I do it all the time.
Yeah, instead you went to military school, and it'll mean that more people will have skills in computer. I'm pretty sure if you want to be a Seattle person, someone who came from Seattle who's just an average guy, you get computer skill. Not usually people don't take it because I'm not a hacker, I don't need computer. But in real life, everyone knows how to use a computer, yeah? Let's be honest here. I'm quite guilty of this too, but generally I just assume as a GM that people know how to use a computer. That's character generation. Other than that, this book just has so many options, so many cool things. I haven't even read the contact section. Haven't even read it. It's massive. I think this is one of the biggest source books. It's 232 pages. It's a lot of fun. Definitely some unbalancing stuff in here. But I think they've done a pretty good job of balancing it. Restricted gear isn't as overpowered as it used to be, but I can definitely see it being abused. I'm still on the fence of whether or not I want to put it in my game. So far, I'm allowing it, but it's on a case-by-case basis. I don't want people to take military armor. That kind of stuff is meant for the army. Your character is just not going to get that kind of stuff.
Fuck you, Tom. I have friends in high places and a black market pipeline. Fuck off. I do what I want.
Funny enough, I may give it to you then, because you've just tried so hard. I'm not even sure if you can afford it karma-wise, because it's 10 karma for restricted gear. Black market pipeline's like 7, and friends in high places is like 8. So, yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, is there anything else you'd like to talk about Run Faster for before we close this off? Anything at all?
Not really. I'm just really happy how it's opened the world up with like more varieties of people, and
Yeah.
it's it's just added a bit more character to the world.
Yeah, it's definitely had more character. It's got way more fluff about the races in general, where they live. There's so much. There's a chapter called More Than Skin Deep, and it just talks about all the different races, where they live, what their sense of community is like, if they do have one. Like, there's something I didn't know about dwarves in the Shadowrun world, is that they have a deep sense of community, but they don't have any nations. So they tend to use the internet and stuff to communicate to each other, and all this kind of really cool stuff like that. Um, And apart from that, of course, there's changelings, which we kind of glossed over, but they're definitely a lot better than what they were in 4th edition, because you need to take a lot of negative qualities to make it work. Changelings are mutants, by the way. Most of the time you hear changeling and you think a transformative shapeshifter, but that's not what they are. They're basically people that have changed midway through their life, or maybe from birth, usually midway through their life, because of the timeline that happened in 2062, I think. So most people were normal before they got mutantized. So these people can have things from beaks, poisonous skin, claws on their feet, a horn, just dumb shit like that. And these people have horrible social modifiers and are ugly. But they're super amazing at combat usually, or they have weird things like a magnet sense and just...
Or like
they're really clever.
360 degrees of vision.
Yeah, because I've got fucking stalk eyes and I'm a mutant.
Yeah.
I mean, I remember these were the bane of my existence in 4th edition, but I think they're a lot more balanced now, because the sheer amount of karma you have to spend. I think it's 30 karma for the highest one, and when you use that 30 karma, you also have to pick up an equal amount, or if not more, of negative qualities to buy your positive qualities. Basically, you get an allotment of 30, and that's how much you can get. So, yeah, it's pretty brutal. Like, an average changeling is going to have so many negatives. Because, funnily enough, being a mutant, you're generally not going to live very well.
Yeah. No.
Alrighty. Yeah, I think this is pretty much for Run Faster. We've, no, we haven't played with anything from Run Faster yet, have we?
I have taken a couple qualities from it, but that's it.
Yeah. Oh, restricted gear.
And
But yeah,
yeah,
apart from
I've
that,
come up once too. So,
yeah. I mean, apart from that, I'm really enjoying this book. I'm always coming back for a little bit of read. I'd suggest anyone that's into Shadowrun and wants to add something more of an oomph to their game to do that. So yeah. So yeah, that was something about tabletop. It's been me, Master Blah, with...
Louis.
So yeah, if you guys enjoyed this kind of discussion thing, we might do more of them. In the future, we probably should get back onto the mic and do some more podcasty kind of stuff, but this is a lot easier. So in the future, we'll probably be doing more Shadowrun actual plays, and I may even be doing some D&D stuff as well, with Fantastic Dimensions' little campaign thing that he's doing. Alright, so see you guys later.